The governor of Colorado wants to build a $29 million pedestrian bridge project in front of the state capitol. This winding, snaking walkway slash art installation crossing 4 lanes of traffic to Lincoln Veterans Memorial Park. I understand that Governor Polis wants a legacy project, but there is no good reason to build this, and there are so many reasons not to build it. I don't know if this monument to government waste can be stopped, but we ought to try. The public's initial reaction to the renderings of the bridge appears to be a mix of shock, disgust, and amusement. Yet the governor appears dead set on building this bridge, even if no one else wants it except him and some of his rich donor friends. I should say, I have no issue with them having power and money. I presume that they have earned both. I do have an issue with them treating Colorado's capital like it's their own personal property. The two big criticisms of this project I've heard so far is that it's ugly and that it's a waste of money. I'll get to those in a moment. I actually think that the best argument against the project is the fact that the governor can't come up with a good argument for it. The governor's office says this project honors our shared history, showcases local artists, and brings the community together. Well, it's bringing the community together in opposition. The preservation group Historic Denver wrote, quote, "Plowing a functionally useless bridge through a historic site serves no purpose, but does extensive damage." As for this being a $29 million outdoor art gallery, Capitol Hill United Neighbors, which represents the people who live around here, artsy types, lots of them, they oppose the project too, saying, quote, "We believe the rich and diverse stories of our state should be honored. Constructing a massive bridge does not achieve that goal." So then the governor's office pivoted to saying that it was about pedestrian safety. So we pulled the pedestrian crash data for this spot, and last year there was 1 crash. So then the governor's office says it's about a wheelchair ramp access to the Capitol. If you think a wheelchair ramp needs to cost $29 million, the governor's got a bridge to sell you. And finally, the governor's office now says that the walkway will provide visiting school kids with a place to sit and eat their lunch at the Capitol. They have provided no good reason to permanently disfigure one of the most beautiful man-made places in Colorado. This area, from the state capitol to the Denver City and County building, is one of America's greatest examples of the City Beautiful movement. It's why Civic Center Park is a National Historic Landmark. From above, you get an even better sense of its classic architecture, its formal order and balance. And the governor wants to slap on what looks like an abandoned water slide. We've learned the city of Denver quietly rejected the state's plans for an even bigger, longer bridge that would have connected all the way to Civic Center Park. So Polis pulled the project back to just state-owned property, his land. Actually, no, our land. There are some publicly owned spaces in this state that should be off limits to pet projects. We wouldn't let somebody draw a mural on Red Rocks or open a motel inside the Mesa Verde cliff dwellings. I've heard people say that the bridge is ugly. I think that's unfair. It's only jarring to look at because it would be here in this classic historic space. I can imagine all kinds of neighborhoods in Denver where a modern-looking, winding pedestrian bridge like that would look cool, or other cities in Colorado that would love to have it in their downtown. Great, let them have it. Put it there. But I'm told there were no other locations considered, and no other projects considered for this location. The governor wants his legacy project done here, and he wants it done fast, by next summer, for Colorado's 150th birthday, America's 250th. The project was unveiled at the annual Meisel dinner, suggesting it's got the support of Larry Meisel, who's a big campaign donor in Colorado. And this project is being pitched to other wealthy Coloradans, names you'd know, to get them behind the project. That explains why so many people, including city and state leaders who have concerns, are staying silent, rather than risk angering the governor and some of the richest political donors in Colorado. So I'll say it. If they build this $29 million pedestrian bridge project on the front lawn of the state capitol, it will become a monument to government waste. State legislators are dealing with their second straight year of budget cuts, and the federal government keeps shifting more and more costs to the states. Yet every day, these legislators are going to look out their window at millions of dollars they could have spent on something useful. Every time Colorado can't fund a program, people will say, well, we had that $29 million to spend on that pedestrian bridge to nowhere. It will become a symbol of Colorado's misplaced priorities and wasteful spending. Let me just add, This is still a foolish project, even if it doesn't cost taxpayers $1 more than the $1.5 million they've already spent. Because there's a chance that our wealthy governor and his even richer friends could just write a check for the whole thing. So let me be clear. Making a bad idea free does not make it a good idea. We asked the governor's office to point us towards someone, anyone who supports this project. They directed us to an artist who, as it turns out, is being paid to do community outreach for the project. If you have to pay people to like your ideas, maybe they're not great ideas. Being governor comes with perks and power, but there are limits. There must be limits. Someone must be able to tell the governor and his rich friends no. No, you cannot spoil a one-of-a-kind place in Colorado with your pet project. Build the monument to your legacy somewhere other than the front lawn of the People's House. Because Governor Polis, this Capitol is your office. This is not your personal property.